Okay, all are able to see the screen that I'm showing. Lesson plan. All are able to see the lesson plan that I'm showing? No, I think so. Now,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
just to make a note, okay, within which I will make arrangement for presentation, okay. All of you, please make a note of the first unit. Check out what topics are there. Okay, so this is your syllabus for first unit. I'm guessing all are able to hear me now properly. See how to respond from the other side because we
Yes,
do
ma'am.
not know each other. All right, I won't. Yeah, yeah. All the others should also be responding. Okay, because right or wrong, I want to know whether you people are on the other side responding to me. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
This is my rule set for the class. Now, what are the things that we are going to learn in this subject? Do you know what is the subject code and what is the name of the subject that I am going to teach? Come on, I want people to respond. I'm showing a screen there. You should know what is the subject that I'm going to teach you. Okay, or otherwise, you want me to pinpoint somebody and ask you questions so that I will be able to know whether you understood or not. Will that be okay with you? Okay, I'll start. Mohammed Tafik is there, no? Mohammed Tafik.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is the name of the subject and subject code? It's there,
Basic
no?
electrical
You are able to see
electronics.
this. Basic electrical and electronics engineering. And what is the subject code?
18 EES 101.
J. Okay, J, that J indication is this course is a joint course which is having a lab part being integrated to it. I think your lab class is scheduled on day 1, I think so. By this time, you must have understood what is the day 1, day 2, day 3 order.
Ma'am, your voice is not coming.
Right. My voice is okay. I am hearing my voice from the other device also. Who was telling me that my voice is not audible? I am checking my voice and the presentation via other device. Okay, in that other device it's audible only. Okay, so this is a joint course. I think today what is the day order that you are having?
5.
Today is day order
5.
5. 5. Okay.
5, ma'am.
Now, yeah, this is a joint course as I already told you because this will be having theory as well as lab being integrated together. So per week you will be having one lab class, I think it's on day one, isn't it? Yes or no? Because I don't know the timetable properly for you. Maybe some changes might be there. So when is your lab class being scheduled for the subject? I think it's day one afternoon. Day one afternoon only, no? Arun, Arun Roshan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think all are able to see the topics that are present in your first unit, isn't it? What are the
Yes.
topics that are present in your first unit? This is your unit number one. It's all about what?
Electrical circuits.
Yes, electrical circuits, under which you are going to discuss about AC and DC circuits, what are active and passive elements, what is Ohm's law, what is voltage current relationship for these passive elements, what is power energy, what is the difference between these two, and what are voltage sources, independent and dependent. Kirchhoff's two laws, we will be discussing how to solve problems based upon these laws, and what are the various theorems that are involved. All these things you will be studying in this particular unit. Okay. And then AC circuits we will be discussing, and under AC circuits we will be learning out what is average, RMS value, form, peak factor, and again we will solve problems based upon AC circuits. Okay, this is your syllabus. I will pass on the syllabus via WhatsApp also. So now let me start the unit. I think now you must have understood what is in the first unit. You are CSE people. Why do you need to study this subject? Tell me. You are enrolled for a computer science, and why do you need to study the subject basic electrical and electronics? Why is it so necessary? Answer should come from your side. Reshma Thomas, you tell me the answer. Why do you need to know basic things about electrical and electronics? Reshma Thomas,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me why do you need to learn some basic details about basic triple E even though you belong to CSE?
Um, I don't know, ma'am.
You don't know. Daily you are using electrical circuit supply for your usage of mobile phones and other things or not? General knowledge question only, no. For charging mobile phones you are plugging it where? When I asked this question to Reshma Thomas, she should be answering whether it is wrong or right, I don't care, but response should be there.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, can I say?
yes. Yashwant, tell.
Yeah, computers run on electrical means on electricity and the circuits and all.
Yes, but why do you need to study? You are an CSE engineer, so why do you need to discuss about electrical?
For
Because
basic
it is
knowledge.
mandatory for all branch people.
We need to know the basics.
Yes, basics. Because you are utilizing that available supply that is generated at far off places and it is delivered to your end. You are just plugging into the socket and you are powering up your appliances. So many appliances you are using, daily life you are using. What are the various appliances that you are using? All domestic life appliances. So many in number, no? You are in your house. So daily you are using a television, okay, for your entertainment, and you are using a lighting system. Similarly, tell me so many other applications.
Microwave oven?
This microwave oven and other kitchen appliances, so many are there, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Others should also be able to name a few. Heaters are there. Then
Induction.
induction
Refrigerator.
stove is there. Your mixer grinder is there. Washing machine is there. Then
What?
your mobile phones is there. All are requiring available supply. For running, pumping up water also you are using what?
Motor.
motor. Okay, suppose if power supply is not there, means sometimes you'll use generator. So all these need some electrical power supply. So no matter whichever branch you relate to, okay, regardless of whatever may be the branch that you are related to, you have to know some basic details about this electrical engineering. And if you consider electronics, so what are the various electronic things that you know about? Again, I will name one simple application, that is your mobile phone. Okay, if you break open the mobile phone, there is a printed circuit board in which you will be having so many electronic components in it. Electronic components in the sense, what do you mean by electronic components? You must have studied physics.
Ma'am,
Tell,
yes, ma'am.
it's not a matter that if your answer is wrong, but you should be able to understand and tell me something. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
don't
Small,
type in the
small
chat box.
transistors.
Huh? What, ma?
Small transistors and other
Transistor. So
semiconductors.
you know what is a transistor. So that is a very good example. Very good. So that is an one part of the printed circuit board. Apart from this transistor, you will also have resistor, capacitor, all being combined together to form a circuit like an amplifier or a microphone or a loudspeaker. Those are some simple examples for electronic appliances. Okay. So as a combo, this electrical and electronic systems are an integral part of your daily life. So you need to know how all these things work out, how you analyze a particular circuit if it is electronic or electrical in nature. So first unit is about this analysis part. Okay, suppose if you are having an AC circuit or a DC circuit, how to analyze this circuit for getting the performance parameters that you are going to do. Okay, and later part you will be discussing
Yes,
how
ma'am.
the machines will work upon. All right. Now you have seen through the syllabus. Now shall we move on to the unit details? So what is your subject
Yes,
again?
ma'am.
Tell me what is your subject. One more time we will summarize. What is the name of the subject?
Basic electrical and electronics.
Basic Electrical and Electronics Engineering, and the subject code is 18EES101J. It is a joint course, so it is mandatory that you appear for both lab as well as theory. If you are getting yourself absent for a theory or lab, you will be not getting the grade. Okay, so it's mandatory that you maintain attendance for both cases, lab as well as theory, and you have to appear for university exam both for practical and theory. And it is easy because this is an integrated course, so you will be able to get grades. But if you want higher grades, means you have to concentrate more. Okay. Hmm? Now first unit is about electric circuits, that is blocked up here. Okay, it is all about how to analyze this AC and DC circuits. What are the various laws that you can use to analyze this? Okay, that is all you are going to discuss in the first unit. All right. Now let me move on to PPT. So this is your basic electrical electronic circuits. This first unit is about electric circuits. Now, before you discuss some symbolic representations, you should need to know about. Okay, so I am showing some symbols. Are you able to see the symbol? Symbols you are able to see. I will put it in
Yes, ma'am.
slideshow. So what are the various symbols that is shown here? And there are two types of electric circuits that is classified in this slide. Now, what are the two types that is classified here? Here.
AC and DC.
This portion. What are the two circuits?
AC and DC.
AC and DC. Okay, so electric circuits are classified into two types. One is DC circuits, this one, and other one is AC circuits. Okay. So if it is DC circuits, means what are the various elements that are involved? What
Voltage
are the
source,
various elements that are
current
involved?
source, resistor.
Voltage source, current source, and resistor. Now, generally, if you say DC circuit, which will be powering? Tell me. AC means you commonly know that socket outlet you are plugging it in, that is having an AC supply. But on the other hand, if I say DC source, means which is giving a DC source? Easy answer. Again, a general knowledge question only.
Battery. DC battery.
Battery. Yes, very good. Battery. All right. Who gave me this answer?
Rahul.
Rahul. Okay, very good. So DC circuit, if you say, means this some symbol you can see, isn't it? Okay, that is a two terminal component. One will be your plus and one will be your minus. So this is representing your battery. Okay, battery is your voltage source. Okay, so this is your battery. We move on to pen or something. Okay, so battery symbol. It's difficult right here. Next time I will switch on to the other device live board. So this is your battery symbol. So it is represented by symbol similar to capacitor, plus it will be having two terminals. One is positive terminal and the other one is negative terminal. So this battery is the common source that is supplying the elements. On the other hand, if it is to be a current source, means this will be the symbol. Okay, so you understood the difference between voltage source and current source?
Yes, ma'am.
Voltage source means plus or minus symbol will be there. Current source means one arrow mark will be there like this. That arrow mark direction will be telling you in which direction that current is flowing. Okay. Suppose if what? Any doubt is there? Saumil Baldota. What's the doubt? Mute your mic. See, your voice is having so much interference. Make it smooth. Or type in the chat box what's your doubt. Okay, suppose if you consider this is your battery, that is your voltage source. Okay, so plus minus or the symbol. This is a battery source, voltage source. Suppose if you want to represent the same in terms of a current source, then circle mark. Okay, then in which direction the current will be flowing? The plus sign is upward, so this will be the direction. Understood or not? What is the use of a galvanometer actually, Somil? What does it do? Detect current. Yes, and why? What's your doubt actually? It also detects current. You are telling no current balance. Functionalities are almost the same. Okay, so this is how we will be
Ma'am,
representing
excuse me,
voltage.
ma'am. I think the symbol are same for current source and galvanometer.
Yeah,
I
that is
think
what
that's
he
what he's
told.
asking.
Yeah, I saw the chat box. But what does a galvanometer do? He told that it is detecting current. Okay, so current balance it detects. Okay, actually galvanometers present in the circuit is it will check whether the circuit is in balance condition or not, isn't it? Dhanush,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the use of a galvanometer? If it is indicating some balanced position, means it will indicate zero, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If current is
Ah.
flowing, there will be a deflection in it.
Yes. So it's having a special functionality of detecting current. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So current source is also similar. All right. But the
Yes, ma'am.
direction can be downwards also, depending upon plus minus symbol. If they are changing, the direction of the current source will be downwards, pointed downwards. Okay. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so these are the DC circuit elements. What about the AC circuits? When it comes to AC circuits means additional to resistance, you will be having two more elements in the form of inductor and What is other element? Come on, when it comes to AC circuit, same voltage source you will be having, single phase or three phase you will be having, current source you will be having, resistor you will be having. In addition to these three, two more components will also be there. What are the other two components that is present in the slide? I have rounded up.
Capacitor.
Capacitor and one more.
Inductor.
Inductor. Inductor and capacitor. So all these elements, they are having two terminals or three terminals or four terminals. You have to tell me. Two terminal components or three terminal or four terminal components. How many terminals are there?
Two terminal.
Two terminal. All are two terminal components only. So among these, which will be forming active components and which will be forming passive components, you have to tell me. Piyush Patak. Piyush Patak.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me which will be marked as active components and which will be called as passive components. Have you studied this topic in your lower physics class or you do not know anything about it?
No, ma'am, I have studied about it.
Then you have to tell me the answer now. Do you know the definition for active and passive elements?
No, I have some doubt.
Okay. I will tell. Alright. So among these components, which will be able to generate its own source for others' use? You are having so many components, a voltage source, current source, resistor, inductor, capacitor. Among all these components, which is capable of generating its own source and delivering it to other components? That's the question. What?
Inductor.
Inductor is delivering energy to other components. No.
Voltage source does it.
Yes. Voltage source. Very good. Then current source. Okay. Voltage source and current source. These two are capable of generating their own power. Same way you told battery. Now what is the battery's use? It's using up power or it's delivering energy?
Delivering energy.
Delivering energy. So battery is an active source or a passive source?
Active source.
Active source.
Active.
As active. Okay, so voltage source, current source and all will be called as active elements. Alright. So among these five again, which is storing energy or consuming energy? What are the energy storage elements?
Resistor, inductor,
Inductor,
and
capacitor. Okay. So those three elements will be called as passive or active?
passive.
Passive.
Passive. One more difference is there. Resistor is consuming energy or it is storage element?
Consuming.
Consuming. So resistor is energy consumer. Okay, it will waste energy. What about the remaining two elements, inductor, capacitor?
It will store them.
Yes, both are energy storers. But there is a difference again. Inductor is storing energy in what form? Capacitor is storing energy in what form? There are two fields. Now one is electric field, other one is magnetic field. So inductor.
Magnetic field, capacitor, electric field.
Okay. Inductor is magnetic field, capacitor is electric
Magnetic
field. Very
field.
good. Yes. Capacitor is electrical, inductor is magnetic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you understood what is the difference between active and passive elements? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now again we'll summarize the slide. Okay. Electric circuits are classified into two. What are the two categories?
Active and passive components.
No.
DC and AC.
AC and
DC and AC. So what are the various circuit components that will be present? Voltage source, current source, resistor, inductor, capacitor.
Inductor,
Okay.
capacitor.
Out of these, which are the active elements and which are the passive elements?
Voltage source, current
Voltage
source are
source.
active elements, and resistor, inductor,
Inductor,
and capacitor are passive.
Capacitor or passive element.
Transistor.
Okay, very good. But how will you be able to distinguish these two? Which will be generating energy on its own For the other components used is voltage and current source. So those elements are called as voluntary active elements. All right. Resistor, inductor, capacitor and all, they either store energy or they consume energy. So they will be coming under passive category. And distinguish between resistor, inductor, capacitor, which is energy storage element and which are the energy consumers.
Resistor is energy consumer and inductor and capacitor energy storer.
Okay. Inductor is storing energy in what form and capacitor is storing energy in what form?
Magnetic and electric.
Okay, very good. All right. Others should also take part in interaction. Okay, because this is online class. I'm not going to scold anybody if they give wrong answer. All right. Next, we'll move on to the next slide. Okay. All right. Next comes how to classify the two sources. Okay. So how will you be classifying two sources? This one, red color marking is representing your independent source. The blue color marking is representing your dependent source. Okay. All right. And you know how to represent. Independent source will be cyclic. Okay. Dependent source means it will be diamond representation. All right. Anybody has doubt? Okay, sources are voltage and current source. Current source and voltage source are actually classified into two. One is independent source and the other one is dependent source. Okay. So I will move it somewhere. Okay, independent source and dependent source. Independent source, how will you represent? There will be a circle representation. Dependent source mean how will you represent? By a diamond representation. Okay, diamond shape, dependent. Circle means independent. Alright. Now I will tell you how to distinguish this independent and dependent source. Understood what are the two types of sources that you are having?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one is dependent and the other one is independent. Okay, I will move on. What? Okay. So again, dependent means, I will tell you first dependent. Okay. So first two symbols, this is representing what? I will highlight.
Battery.
Wait, I'll fix a pointer. Wait. Okay. So this is representing voltage source or current source?
Voltage.
What is
Voltage source. What are the two terminal markings? DC or AC?
Voltage
Huh?
source.
Voltage source, DC or AC?
DC?
DC, plus and minus. Plus and minus are there means DC. It's representing a battery of what voltage?
5 volt.
5 volt.
5.
5 volts. So this is an independent voltage source or dependent?
Independent.
Independent. Circle mark is there, so this is independent. If you see to this one, this is representing what?
Current source.
Current source. The upward marking is representing in which direction the current flows. In this direction only the current will flow. Okay, both are independent because they are marked in circles. So when it comes to the next diagram, okay, these are shown in diamond shapes. So both are representing dependent and independent.
Dependent.
Dependent. Okay. Dependent. So first one is voltage source or current source. Which one? Current source or voltage source? Voltage. And this is your current source. Okay. Why I am calling this as dependent is because, okay, so this is representing or depending upon what factor? This one. Here it is given 4 I, isn't it? This I factor. Okay. So that I factor is what?
Variable.
Ice cap.
Yes, this is your current. Okay. So this voltage source is depending upon what? Voltage source is a function of what? Current. Okay, so that's why it is called as a dependent voltage source. Here if it comes means this is a current source which is depending upon what parameter?
Voltage.
Voltage.
Voltage source. Okay, so this is how you will be distinguishing between two sources. One is dependent and one is independent. Alright, dependent means diamond shape, independent means circle. Alright, independent means they will not be a function of any parameter, but if you see to this means they will be a function of some parameter. Alright, there will be a function of some parameter. That's why there is an Ix factor there. Here it's a Vx factor there. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, alright. Okay, I will move on to the previous slide. Okay. Okay. So now how to classify dependent power source they have given here. Okay. So how will you be able to classify four types are there. So in case if you are not speaking, you mute your mic. Otherwise it will be interference to everybody. When you are coming to answer for something, that time you unmute. Okay. So there are four types of dependent power sources. What are the four types? One is voltage controlled voltage source, current controlled voltage source, voltage controlled current source, current controlled current source. Okay, these are the four types of dependent power sources. Voltage controlled current source means that voltage source will be a function of what?
Voltage.
Voltage. Current, yes, current controlled voltage source means voltage will be a function of
Current.
current. This will be a current source as a function of voltage. Last one is current source as a function of current. Okay, that's all. Okay. So this one is your what? This one is voltage controlled voltage source or voltage controlled current source.
Voltage control current.
Voltage control current.
This one? This one is current control
Voltage.
current
Voltage source.
voltage control current voltage control current source. Okay. Then
Ma'am, isn't it current control voltage source?
which one?
The previous one.
Which one? This one.
Yes,
This one first one is current controlled voltage source. This
second
one is voltage.
Second one.
This is voltage controlled current source.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
This one. Tell me.
Voltage control voltage source and current control current source.
Okay, very good. All right. Okay. Now this law that is defined here. What is the name of the law? You have to tell me. I think this you must have studied in your lower physics class.
Ohm's law.
Ohm's law. Very good. So what does Ohm's law state? Suppose if you are having a conductor, if you are giving it a supply, it will be made to carry a current. Alright. So what happens? What relationship exists between voltage and current?
V is equal to IR.
V is equal to IR. See, suppose if you assume this is a conductor. Conductor is usually inductive in nature. So I am drawing a conductor. You are giving it a supply. Let that be DC or AC supply. I am drawing an AC supply. So once if you give a battery source here or an AC source, whichever may be the case. Okay. So it will start to lead current. Let that be I. Okay. So let this be V. Alright. So when will it be equivalent? Only when the temperature is remaining constant, or when it varies also this relationship is good.
Only when temperature is constant.
Yes, when the temperature is constant, other factors are remaining constant. Under that condition only this Ohm's law is valid. Okay, there are some certain limitations for Ohm's law. When the temperature is varying, this law will not hold good. Okay, I think when it is not a conductor element or linear element, it will not work out. Okay, like that. Alright, so you know that V is equal to I, or V is proportional to I. Voltage across that inductor is proportional to I. So that will be giving result to this characteristic curve. This is a linear curve or a non-linear curve?
Linear.
Linear curve.
Linear curve, because every step this V increases, the I factor also increases in the same fashion. Okay, for step increment of voltage, current also increases. So this resistance is a linear element or a non-linear element? Linear element or non-linear
Linear.
element? Linear.
Linear.
Okay.
Linear.
So in order to make it equal, I am introducing one constant of proportionality. Okay. In order to make these two factors, I will be introducing one constant of proportionality. What is the constant that I am introducing here?
Resistance.
R.
R. Okay. So if I am writing I in terms of I, okay, then I will be taking V to the other side, R to the other side will become V divided by R. Okay. So what is this 1 by R is termed as? What is the reciprocal of the resistance? Resistance is conductance.
Rho.
Okay.
Rho.
Yes, rho or G in terms. Okay, so that is how this relationship comes into existence. So resistance is a linear element. Ohm's law, as per Ohm's law, when you are having a conductor, if you are giving it a supply voltage, it will carry current, and there will be a linear relationship existing between voltage and current based upon which you are having Ohm's law. Ohm's law is having only certain limited behavior. Under variance of temperature, it will not work out. Okay, and there are other limitations also. All right, this is an important law. So when you are going to analyze the electric circuit, either DC or AC, the first basic law that you will be using up is this Ohm's law only. Okay, this is one physical law. Like you are having in mechanical system, what laws will you apply? Mechanical system? There is a
Don't know.
Newton's law, you know? Newton's law number
Yes.
one. Okay,
Yes.
in case of mechanical system, you will using this Newton's law. All right. But when it comes to that electrical system means you will be using Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, and some theorems. Okay, all these things you will be using. Okay, I hope you understood Ohm's law. This is an important question. Understood Ohm's law?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Statement of Ohm's law is very important. Okay. Same things are again given here. So actually, if you want to define a resistance, how will you be able to define the term resistance? Resistance, how will you be able to define the resistance? Here it is given.
The one which opposes the flow of electric current.
Yes, resistance is the opposing property of the conductor and is reciprocal of the conductance. What factor does it oppose? The name itself says resistance. So what does it oppose?
Current.
Current.
Flow of
Current,
current.
Okay, so
Flow of
resistance
current.
is the opposing properties against the current flow. Okay, reciprocal of resistance is conductance. Those things are not known to you. Now, what relationship does this show? R is equal to rho L by A.
Resistivity to length, area, and resistance.
Area of
Okay, this relationship also you have to remember. Okay, R is your resistance. Alright, that conductor I was talking about. Okay, that will be having its length and area. L is representing your length and A is representing your area. And what about rho? Rho is called a specific resistance. Alright, that is not conductance. Rho is specific resistance of the material. Okay, of which the conductor is made of, and how they are all related, which is directly proportional, which is inversely proportional.
length is directly proportional.
And area
Area
is inversely proportional.
Area is
Yes.
area
Okay.
inverse.
Yes, this formula you should not forget. Maybe it might come in problem. Rho L by A, that is a standard formula that you should not forget. And what is the unit of this resistance?
Ohm meter.
Ohm.
Ohm.
Unit is ohm.
Ohm.
Alright. Don't forget all these basic things. Okay. That is all that should be learned when it comes to studying electrical engineering. Alright. Okay. So Ohm's law we discussed. How will you be able to define Ohm's law? When you are having a voltage supplied across a conductor, all right, it will carry some current. So if you are to relate V and I, both will be directly proportional. If you want to make them equal, you are introducing a constant of proportionality in the form of resistance. Resistance is nothing but the opposition property offered against the flow of current, whose unit is what?
Ohm.
Ohm. Okay, and one more relationship you should remember is R is equal to rho L by A. And the relationship between V and I is linear, because of which resistance will be linear component. Okay, not a non-linear one. All right. Now, the other things that are given here is what is the power for the resistance. You know the usual formula. It is the product of V and I. There are other variations also that are possible for power. What are the other two formulas? By
I
Ohm's
square
law, if you
R.
are, yes, by Ohm's law, you know what is Ohm's law. V is equal to what for Ohm's law?
IR.
I R.
R.
Okay. So you substitute this relationship in this formula. You will be getting two more variations for power. One is what formula?
I square R.
I squared R. And the other one is V squared divided by
R.
R. And what is the unit of power?
Watt.
What?
Watt. Okay. What is the unit of current? All these things are
Ammeter.
not ampere.
Ammeter.
Ammeter.
Don't tell ammeter. Ammeter is a measuring instrument.
Ampere.
Okay.
Ampere.
Ampere. What is the unit of voltage?
Volt.
Volts. Okay, but the unit of power, I think you know or not know, I do not know, but the
Watt.
unit of power is what? Watt. Okay,
Watt.
these things are basic things. Again, unit of resistance is ohm, unit of voltage is volt, unit of current is ampere, unit of power is watt. Okay, and the formula for power is VI, I squared R, or V squared divided by R. Okay, understood so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we will learn out the two important laws. Okay, now comes a very important topic. What are the laws that we will be using up? Before that, I need to tell you how a DC circuit. If I tell there is a DC circuit, okay. Okay, I will switch on to other system to make it easy for you. Okay, I'll stop presenting here. I'll present in my other system. Okay. All are able to see the screen that I'm showing.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so I tell you DC circuit, no? So you know what are DC circuits? It's having an voltage source, current source, and there will be a resistor, I say. Okay, so how to represent it in terms of a circuit diagram, I will tell you. So I am having a battery symbol here, plus minus. Okay. Let this be my R1, let this be my R2, let this be my R3. The current, let it be I1, I2, plus minus V. Okay, so there is a circuit that I have drawn here, which is called as DC circuit or AC circuit. This is an electric circuit. So this is my DC or AC? You have to tell me.
DC.
DC. Yes, you are correct. All are correct. This is called as DC. Okay, DC electric circuit. It is a combination of some voltage source with a power battery. Current source it may be have. Suppose if you are drawing a current source here, then also it is DC. So this is one simple example for a DC circuit, okay, DC electric circuit. But when it comes to drawing an AC circuit, okay, I'm going to draw an AC circuit. Now, what are the various elements that are involved?
Capacitor.
This symbol represents what?
AC circuit.
DC means plus minus will be there, but here there is no plus minus. You are having a sinusoidal symbol, so that represents what? AC, sinusoidal supply. Okay, now I have drawn what circuit here? This is my R, L, C, let the current involved be I. So this is my AC circuit or DC?
AC.
AC circuit.
AC. Okay, so now you understood what is the difference between an AC circuit and a DC circuit?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this circuit you are going to analyze. Okay, I want to obtain what is the current flowing and what is the power that is involved with the circuit. That is all I am going to do as analysis. So if I want to analyze these circuits, what are the basic physical laws that I am going to use up?
We'll have to find impedance of the circuit and V by Z is equal to I naught into
No, I am asking you what are the laws. You are correct. Indirectly you are telling me the answer. But what laws?
Voltage law. Kirchhoff's
Uh,
voltage law.
But first law is your what law?
Loop rule.
Loop rule.
What Ohm's law? Ohm's law. This is what symbol?
Ohm.
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 Ohm's law you will use. Then what are the other laws you will use? You will use KVL. You will use KCL. You will use Ohm's law. Some theorems. Okay. All these you will be using if you want to analyze a particular circuit. Analysis in the sense you are finding out what parameter. What parameter you are going to find out if you want to analyze. Current you want to find out. You say impedance you want to find out. You want to find out the power. Okay. So if you want to find out all these parameters, you can apply basic laws that are Ohm's law, KCL, KVL, some.
Ma'am, screen share stopped.
Did ma'am disconnected now?
There is no sound.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
People, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So with this, we'll close class today. I'm hoping all understood whatever things I have taught you.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What are the things that you have learned today? Just to summarize the facts. With that, we'll close class.
Types of circuit, Ohm's law.
Types of circuits are what?
Uh,
Two in number. One is DC, and another one is AC.
AC.
current and
Okay.
AC current.
Ohm's law.
Okay.
Ohm's law.
What are the various components that you are having?
Yes.
Active and passive.
Yes.
What are the active elements?
Voltage source.
What are the
current
active
source.
elements? Voltage source,
Source.
current source. R, L and C are what elements?
Passive.
Passive.
Passive. Okay. I think I'm not hearing any answer from Nandita and Saidaman. You people understood or not? Nandita and Saidaman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then I have told you how to distinguish between AC and DC. What laws will you apply for analyzing one circuit given? We'll be using Ohm's law, KVL, KCL. Okay.
KCL.
Okay, so you understood what is Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, resistance also you understood. Now next class we will discuss KVL, KCL on the basis of which we will be trying to solve problem. See, now you understood the instruction that I give you. You join via the WhatsApp link that I have given. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I will be putting all the documents in the GCR only. I think you understood how the GCR works out by now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all the videos I will put it in YouTube. The link only I will be sending off in GCR. All right. So in your leisure time also you can watch the videos and you can learn. And plus, I think you yourself don't know who are the other classmates that you are having. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Okay. With this, we'll close class. In case of any doubts, you accept my invitation for WhatsApp and you ask me doubts. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. With this, we'll close class. Okay. You all can leave.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Attendance.
Okay, ma.
Ma'am, attendance.